Dear students, welcome to my 4th class on Module 3, Probability Distributions. In this lecture video, we're gonna discuss about binomial distribution and problems on binomial distribution. Before learning about binomial distribution, we have to know what is Bernoulli trials. The first condition is each trial having only two outcomes. One is success and one more is failure. Second condition, each trial must be independent. Third condition, only finite number of repeated trials are performed. So these kind of trials are called Bernoulli trials. Binomial distribution. A random variable x is called a binomial random variable with parameters n, p, and its probability mass function is given by p of x is equal to k, which is equal to nck p power k q power n minus k, where the range of k is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on till n, and p is the probability of success with the range of p is 0, less than or equal to p, less than or equal to 1, and q is the probability of failure, that is p plus q is equal to 1. To find the value of q, we have the formula q is equal to 1 minus p, and nck is a combination which is given by n factorial by k factorial into n minus k factorial. Now, the cumulative distribution function of the random variable x in the case of binomial distribution is given by the formula fx of x is equal to summation k from 0 to n nck p power k q power n minus k for n is less than or equal to k, less than or equal to n plus 1. Okay, what is the mean, variance and standard deviation of the binomial distribution? To find the mean, variance and standard deviation, the first thing is we have to consider the formula of binomial distribution. So first let me consider the probability mass function of binomial distribution in the form p of x is equal to k nck p power k q power n minus k, for the range of k is k equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on till n. So since here this binomial distribution is a discrete random variable case, so then for the discrete random variable x, we have the formula for mean like this, that is summation x is equal to summation x into p of x. So now I am going to replace this p of x as p of x is equal to k for nck p of p power k q power n minus k. So I'll be converting all the x variable in terms of k, and I'm going to replace p of x is equal to k as nck p power k q power n minus k. So I got the expression like this, that is summation k from 0 to n k into nck p power k q power n minus k. Okay, now I am going to expand nck, that is summation k from 0 to n k into n factorial by k factorial into n minus k factorial p power k q power n minus k. So now our job is to eliminate the term k from this equation. So to eliminate this k, I am going to expand this k factorial as k into k minus 1 factorial. So I got summation k from 0 to n k into n factorial divided by k into k minus 1 factorial into n minus k factorial into p power k q power n minus k. So now we can able to eliminate the term k from this equation. Okay, now the term what we got contains k minus 1 factorial. So the summation must start from k from 1 to n now because of this function only. So summation k from 1 to n, and I am expanding n factorial as n into n minus 1 factorial and keeping k minus 1 factorial as it is, and converting n minus k factorial in terms of n minus 1 minus of k minus 1 just by adding 1 and subtracting 1 in this expression. Similarly, converting p power k as p power k plus 1 minus 1 just by adding 1 and subtracting 1 in p power k. Similarly, converting q power n minus k as q power n minus 1 minus of k minus 1 by adding k plus 1 and subtracting 1 in this expression. So after all this rearrangement, I got the expression like this, that is summation k from 1 to n into n minus 1 factorial, k minus 1 factorial, n minus k minus of k minus 1 factorial, p power k minus 1 plus 1, q power n minus 1 minus of k minus 1. I got it. So now from this expression, I'll be taking the term n and one term of p outside as a constant. So I got the expression like this, that is np into summation k from 1 to n minus 1 factorial divided by k minus 1 factorial into n minus 1 minus of k minus 1 factorial into p power k minus 1 q power n minus 1 minus of k minus 1. I got it. Okay, I'm keeping np as it is, summation k from 1 to n, and converting this as combination again, that is n minus 1 c k minus 1 into keeping p power k minus 1 q power n minus 1 minus of k minus 1 as it is, and this is nothing but p plus q whole power n minus 1 after expansion. So I got the expression np into p plus q whole power n minus 1, and we know that p plus q is nothing but 1. I'm going to replace this p plus q is equal to 1 in this expression. So it will become 1 power n minus 1 and it will be equal to 1. So hence I got the mean or expectation of x is equal to np. Okay, now our job is to find the value of variance. Okay, to find the value of variance, the formula is expectation of x square minus expectation of x whole square. Okay, so I'm going to find the value of expectation of x square first. So later I will be finding the value of variance. So take the formula of expectation of x square. So expectation of x square can be expanded like this, that is expectation of x square minus x plus x just by adding x and subtracting x in this expression. So I got the equation like this, and from the first two terms I'm taking one x variable common factor. So I got expectation of x into x minus 1 plus x, and expanding this expectation I got expectation of x into x minus 1 plus expectation of x. Okay, so now I'm going to find the value of only expectation of x into x minus 1, because already we got the value of expectation of x as n into p. So for that, I'm going to consider expectation of x into x minus 1. This will be equal to summation of x into x minus 1 p of x. So I'm going to replace the value of p of x as nck p power k q power n minus k, along with converting x in terms of k variable. So I got the expression summation k from 0 to n k minus 1 nck p power k q power n minus k. Okay, now I'm going to expand nck again. So I got the expression like this, summation k from 0 to n k minus 1 into n factorial by k factorial n minus k factorial p power k whole into q power n minus k. So now our job is to eliminate k into k minus 1 from this expression. So for that I'm going to expand k factorial as k minus 1 into k minus 2 factorial. So I got the expression like this, summation k from 0 to 1 k into k minus 1 into n factorial divided by k into k minus 1 k minus 2 factorial into n minus k factorial p power k q power n minus k. So now we can able to cancel k minus 1 k minus 1. So I got the expression summation start from k from 2 to n, because the function having k minus 2 factorial now. So obviously we must start the limit from 2 to n only. So now after expanding n factorial as n into n minus 1 n minus 2 factorial and converting n minus k factorial as n minus 2 minus of k minus 2 factorial just by adding 2 subtracting 2, and converting p power k as p power k minus 2 plus 2 by adding 2 subtracting 2, and converting q power n minus k as q power n minus 2 minus of k minus 2 by adding plus 2 and subtracting plus 2. So I got the expression now, summation k from 2 to n minus 1 n minus 2 factorial divided by k minus 2 factorial into n minus 2 minus of k minus 2 factorial p power k minus 2 plus 2 q power n minus 2 minus of k minus 2. So I'm taking n minus 1 and 1 p square term outside. So summation k from 2 to n minus 2 factorial divided by k minus 2 factorial into n minus 2 minus k minus 2 factorial, p power k minus 2 q power n minus 2 minus of k minus 2. So this will be equal to again combination. So I got the expression n minus 1 p square summation k from 2 to n minus 2 c k minus 2 p power k minus 2 q power n minus 2 minus of k minus 2. We got it. So this will be equal to again p plus q whole power n minus 2. I got the expression n minus 1 p square into p plus q whole power n minus 2. And we know that p plus q will be equal to 1. I'll be getting 1 power n minus 2 here. So I'll be getting expectation of x into x minus 1 as n minus 1 p square. Now by multiplying p square and n inside, I got expectation of x minus 1 as n square p square minus np square. Okay, now I'm going to replace this expectation of x minus 1 and expectation of x in this expression. So I got expectation of x square is equal to expectation of x minus 1 plus expectation of x is equal to n square p square minus np square plus np. So I got the variance is equal to sigma x square is equal to expectation of x square minus expectation of x whole square. By replacing the value here, this value here, and taking expectation of x as np, I'll be getting n square p square. By eliminating n square p square on both the sides, I got minus np square plus np. By taking np common factor, I got np into 1 minus p. And we know that p plus q will be equal to 1, then 1 minus p will be equal to q. So I can able to replace 1 minus p as q here. So I got the variance, that is sigma x square is npq. So next is standard deviation. It is given by square root of variance. So I got sigma x is equal to square root of npq is the required standard deviation. Now problems on binomial distribution. Problem number 1. A binary source generates digits 1 and 0 corresponding to the probabilities 0.6 and 0.4 respectively. The first one, what is the probability that 2 ones or 3 zeros will occur in a 5-digit sequence? Second one is, what is the probability that at least 3 ones will occur in a 5-digit sequence? Now we'll see how to find that. So since the sequence is a 5-digit sequence, okay, obviously the value of n will be equal to 5. So I am going to define the event first. Okay, let x be a random variable denoting the number ones generated in a 5-digit sequence. So it implies that the value of n will be equal to 5 and p is equal to 0.6 and q is equal to 0.4. Okay, now I'll be replacing all these values in the binomial distribution formula. So from the binomial distribution, we have the formula like px of k is equal to nck p power k q power n minus k. So after replacing n is equal to 5, p is equal to 0.6 and q is equal to 0.4, I got px of k is equal to pi ck 0.6 whole power k 0.4 whole power 5 minus k. Okay, now I am going to find the first condition to find px of 2 or px of 3. Both will be same only. So I am going to find px of 2 here. So px of 2 is nothing but replacing k is equal to 2 in the previous expression. So I got 5c2 0.6 whole square 0.4 whole power 3. It will be equal to 0.23 after simplification. Similarly, px of k greater than or equal to 3. So it will be alternative formula is 1 minus px of k is less than 3. We can write it, that is 1 minus px of 0 plus px of 1 plus px of 2. So it is nothing but in the px of k equation, replacing k is equal to 0, k is equal to 1, k is equal to 2 and adding that. So I got the expression 1 minus 5c0 0.6 whole power 0 0.4 whole power 5 plus 5c1 0.6 whole power 1 0.4 whole power 4 plus 5c2 0.6 whole square plus 0.4 whole cube. By simplifying all this, I got the equation 1 minus 0.317. The answer will be 0.683. Problem number 2. The number of telephone lines busy at an instant of time is a binomial variate with the probability 0.2. If 10 lines are chosen at random, find the probability that 5 lines are busy. Second one, at least 1 line is busy. Third one, at most two lines are busy. So here the first thing is we have to identify what is the value of P, what is the value of N, and what is the value of Q. So since they have given that P is equal to 0.2 and N is equal to 10, that is the number of lines. So I'm taking N is equal to 10. So since we have P is equal to 0.2, we can able to find the value of Q also. So Q is nothing but 1 minus P. So I'll be getting 0.8 after replacing P is equal to 0.2 in this expression. So I got Q is equal to 0.8. So now from the binomial distribution, we have Px of k is equal to nck, P power k, Q power n minus k. So I'll be replacing the value of n is equal to 10, P is equal to 0.2 and Q is equal to 0.8 in this expression. So I got Px of k is equal to 10 ck, 0.2 whole power k, 0.8 whole power 10 minus k. So now I'm going to find the first condition, that is 5 lines are busy. So 5 lines in the sense it is exactly 5 lines. So in this one we have to use equal symbol, that is P of x is equal to 5 we have to find. So I'm going to replace k is equal to 5 in the above expression. So I got 10c5, 0.2 whole power 5, 0.8 whole power 5. So I got 0.0264 after simplification. Next one, at least one line is busy. So at least in the sense we have to use a symbol greater than or equal to, that is P of x is greater than or equal to 1. It will be equal to 1 minus P of x is less than 1. So this is nothing but what, 1 minus P of 0. So I got 1 minus 10c0, 0.2 whole power 0, 0.8 whole power 10. So after simplifying I got the value 0.8926. Third one, at most 2 lines are busy. At most in the sense we have to use less than or equal to symbol, that is P of x is less than or equal to 2, that is P of 0 plus P of 1 plus P of 2. After replacing k is equal to 0, 1, 2 and adding, I got 10c0, 0.2 whole power 0, 0.8 whole power 10 plus 10c1, 0.2 whole power 1, 0.8 whole power 9 plus 10c2, 0.2 whole square, 0.8 whole power 8. So after simplifying I got the value 0.1074. Okay, in the next lecture video, I will be discussing Poisson distribution and problems on Poisson distribution. Thank you.